This is Forge Daily with Mackenzie Barwell on the Forge Audio Network.
Forge fans, another episode of Forge Daily. We are back after yesterday's matchup against York United. Today is June 1st, 2023. I'm your host, Mackenzie Barwell, here to give you all things Forge. In today's episode, we will hear from a few players, including Achinioti-Jönsson, Noah Jensen, and Garven Metusala, not only on yesterday's matchup, but also Forge's overall performance at this point in the season. As usual, we'll briefly go over what happened last night just to keep you up to speed, and then we'll take an inside look into training today and how Forge is going about this transition period in between yesterday's match against York, but also with the upcoming game against Cavalry. But first, for those of you who do not know, Forge FC conceding their first regular season game in a 2-1 loss yesterday against York United. And hey, this is not the first time York has handed a team in the CPL their first loss. They did it to Halifax, they did it to Cavalry, and now Forge. So, you got to give them credit. Their team seems to be coming into form at this point in the season. They're currently on a 3-game winning streak. Last night, though, plenty of opportunities on both ends. York United opened the scoring in the 53rd minute after a cross was deflected from Forge FC's Hijab, which would result in an own goal. But Forge battling back in the second half and would equalize the match in the 76th minute with a header from Terran Campbell. But ultimately, stoppage time comes along. Brem Samaro strikes the ball from about 35 to 40 yards out, putting York ahead 2-1. Everybody gasped watching this goal. It was unreal. Honestly, nothing Tristan Henry could do. He had a great game. He actually saved a penalty in the first half, which I should mention. So, final score, 2-1. After yesterday's game, though, everyone on the field still looked pretty positive this morning. The non-starting 11 came out to training today for a brief session to get some touches on the ball. So even though it is the day following a game, energy and intensity was there. The coaches incorporated some smaller-sided drills, focus clearly being finishing in the final third. So an opportunity for some frustration release this morning for Forge players. Yesterday, Terran Campbell spoke about how the game isn't necessarily something to dwell on, but rather something to learn and move on from. Here's what he had to say at the press conference.
Yeah, I think we didn't get the best out of our performance today. I think we could have been a lot more, have more force in our attack, be more clinical in front of goal. So the last goal they scored, you can't do much about it. I think every week we're getting there. I think the last piece that we're kind of missing is putting the ball in the back of the net more often. So I think the performances have been there. We just need to find that missing piece. But going forward, I think we'll be fine.
Forge FC with an incredibly congested game schedule between the Canadian Championship and the regular season, playing 5 games in just over 2 weeks now, if we include their matchup against Cavalry this Saturday. I spoke to Noah Jensen and Achinioti-Jönsson about how the team is tackling a situation like this one and the mindset shift that has to happen following yesterday's match going into Saturday.
Yeah, I think everyone knew that after an unfortunate result last night that we need to light a fire under ourselves. We have to be more intense in our training. We have to raise our level, and we have to be good on Saturday when we play against Calgary. Yeah, we've had a really congested schedule. We played a lot of games in a short amount of time. And it's been unfortunate the ball really hasn't been going in the back of the net for us, but that's going to change. They won't keep us out for long, and we're going to start playing some good football going forward.
I don't know if there's a shift, but there's definitely frustration, and I think not only from this game, obviously it's our first loss of the season, but I think we haven't really reached the level we wanted this year, and it's all kind of accumulating, and I feel like we're got to get that energy out somewhere, and I think having a game coming up in 2 days after this is a good way to get that energy out. We've had a lot of rotation to keep bodies fresh, and no, I think we're in a good space for it. And like I said, we've got some anger in us because we haven't really reached the level we wanted to, even though we've gotten the points this season. We're still leaving some out in the field, and I feel like we shouldn't.
A similar response from Garven Metusala. He spoke a little bit about the advantage of having a strong roster in congested points in the season such as this one.
I think we've handled it pretty well. We have the luxury of having a good roster, so everyone can have the same impact. So when we do rotations, the level stays high, so we can save some legs and as soon as fresh legs are back, we keep the level high. And so we just got to move on. Yesterday, of course, that was our first setback of the season, but we got to forget about it, and because we got a big game on Saturday, so we just got to focus on that, get our bodies ready, and focus on the next game.
All right, everyone, that is all I got for today's episode of Forge Daily. Don't forget, we also have an episode of Behind the Beard today. It's already uploaded. I had a great conversation with Coach Bobby, so tune in if you have not already. Thank you so much for listening, and also a special shout out to some cool Forge fans who said they listened to the podcast at the game yesterday. So thank you, Jason, Ian, and Simon. You're the best. I will talk to you all tomorrow for another episode.
This has been Forge Daily with Mackenzie Barwell. If you like what you heard, please like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share.